cerulean fall to get this started. Top right-hand side, our red Terran player. This is Bunny. Up against the blue Protoss in the bottom left-hand side, Tia. Game 1 of our series. And as we get this started off, and look to see what's going to be happening. This is indeed best of 5. As we get this set up, ready to go. And obviously we just saw Dia playing some pretty comfortable PvTs apart from that one fight he lost against Fantasy. But again, got himself into a good position. Got himself into a good position and really was able to kind of play out. You know, even when he lost a fight, he kind of gave himself the breathing room to make a mistake because he got himself so far ahead originally anyways, so that's always a big plus. As you see the assimilator coming down. Talon drops down in the main base. Going to see the factory dropping in towards the main as well. Going to see the CC on the natural. And we are getting this going. Stargate drops in on Dia's main base. So getting that underway. And again, just going to be seeing the expansions coming up here to get this started. Sorry, I'm trying to sort Twitch chat out. There we go. Nexus going to finish up here. And as the Nexus gets finish, we do see the Adept just going to be shading around to try and chase this Reaper. But again, some good info here. I mean, he sees the Stargate, of course, and has a good idea as to what this is probably going to be. I'm interested to see how Dia plays out the longer series, actually, because we saw a couple cool builds from him so far, including that kind of double gas opener on the last game to get a lot of Oracles up early and to apply a lot of pressure. That was pretty nice. It's going to see the two Adepts starting to come through in towards the center, and we're going to be seeing this Marine going to wander on over to the right side. Bunny going for the same build that we saw Fantasy doing in the first map, I think it was, or maybe it was the second map, I can't actually remember, but the one where he goes into that double rack so that he gets the tech lab pretty quickly, he gets into Sim pretty much right away, as we get this going. A couple of depths shading up the ramp, and we are just going to be having a, obviously a wall off there will hold off this position, so good defense for the moment. Yeah, Adept's going to try and shade up again as the Oracle on the way out from the Stargate. And 2 more gateways dropping down in the main base. So again, a couple of these extra gates coming up. Marine's going to start fighting onto those Adepts. And the Cyclone locks on as well, able to take these Adepts down. So, well, that's a lot of Adepts lost, only really for a couple of Marine kills. As we see that stim pack is starting up right now from Bunny. So Bunny getting that stim pack started. We see the engineering bay getting going as well. Forge on the way here from Dia, and a couple more gateways on the way down. We have the Oracle on the way out of the Stargate. Those 2 Oracles just sat out over on this side at the moment as well. We do see this bunker getting started up from Bunny. So getting that bunker started, and again at the same time also just making sure he's going to be able to defend against any sort of aggression or push at the front. Just means you don't have to worry. We see triple Oracle again here from Dia though, so getting that set up to go. And yeah, this triple Oracle going to be starting to move up towards the upper right hand side. So jumping in towards the main, going to be seeing an SCV going down. Oracle will actually get hit by a Widowmine though, so while he gets the Cyclone, oh, the Widowmine gets all of them. Bunny takes down all 3 oracles just like that. Loses in Cyclone, but, well, that's expensive for Dia. I mean, that's just annoying because now he has no map control at all. He has nothing to kind of slow this down or anything. So that really, really, really hurts the Protoss player in the start of this game. This is not what Dia was hoping for by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, this is quite the opposite of what Dia was hoping for, by quite a large margin. Now you do see the Stalker just wandering around a little bit. A couple of extra gates coming down from Dia as well, so getting those Wolf gates set up. On the top left-hand side, another gate as well. So Dia's actually just looking to be very aggressive, perhaps. And it's going to be, what, 7, 8 gates? With Blink Stalkers and Sentries. So he's got the Sentries already to kind of force field the bunker or to force field units around. Well, we'll see. We'll see what he does, because obviously he's going to have to defend here initially because Bunny is moving out onto the map. So Bunny coming around the right-hand side. Let's see what's going on. Concussive Shells get started, Combat Shield coming through, and again that +1 attack is about to finish. You can see a couple of extra Rex coming down, so already the 5 Rex here behind the 3rd CC. And as you see, just so many Stalkers here, I have no idea what the plan is. Oh, lifts up the Widowmine into the Medevac. Oh man, Bunny just gets overrun. Stalkers here will continue to fight. That one Marauder has been extremely frustrating to deal with because it's dealing a lot of damage. There is a few Marines into the natural expansion, which will get a couple of these Stalkers as well. They already got a few probes, and we'll just try and get a couple more. Overall, though, I mean, Dia is hurting, but his army's going to be pretty insane. He's down 15 workers. He needs to warp in aggressively now. Like, now is the time, because there isn't much army left from Bunny. What he has is obviously, you know, single bio units or low numbers of bio units are always very weak against the higher number of, or the lower number of gateway units. So, well, the Widow Mines could be very big here. He does get Medevacs out. And he does have all of the upgrades on the bio as well. So he has Stim Combat and Concussive Shells. Well, Bunny probably doesn't even realize that Dia wants to be so aggressive right now. So, doesn't really need to come down to this low ground. The Stalkers blink away from the Widow Mine shot. A couple of Zealots coming through. Finally going to start tanking some damage. That really was missing a little bit here, as we're going to be seeing. Bunny's like, okay, well, I guess I don't take my 3rd base just now. You're going to see the Stalker blinks away from the Widow Mines once again. Bunny thinking about pulling his SCVs in, but Dia actually begins to pull back. The thing is, Dia has rebuilt workers. He's up to 45. Still not in a lead, especially considering there's going to be triple mule very shortly, as this command center will morph into an orbital. Then just going to see the bio from Bunny is gathering up here. A few Medevacs gathering up overhead, and a hallucinated Colossus to start this. I mean, Bunny will know that's not real. He didn't take any damage from it, but he still actually targeted it for a little while. Zealots running up this ramp. I mean, the Zealots are kind of useless. They don't have charge. I guess, I mean, I say useless. They do tank a lot of damage, but they're not as crazy good as they would be if they had charge, for example. As Dia, again, is very desperate with his attack, feeling like he still has to end the game. But eventually, Bunny has enough bio to turn this around. Give him a few SCVs to get a bit of a lead onto that kind of defense. And that just, again, helps him to lower the numbers enough so that the bio can push this away. And now, again, he pretty much just throws down the mules and gets set up in towards the 3rd base. So you've seen the Stalkers have to blink away one more time. Marauders and Marines going to come over. I'm going to be pushing down those Stalkers. Getting rid of one of them right there. A couple Stalkers blinking back. The other Stalkers blinking back. Medevac's loading up and just going to be boosting along. He actually goes for this drop. I mean, the drop across the map could be great as long as he survives this attack, because, I mean, there is still a lot of warpins coming in from Dia over on this side. So Bunny's going to stim again. Oh, maybe he's just going to come in for the flank around. I don't think that works because there's just so low, so few units. So he drops these units off. Now he comes up, and actually those force fields are going to be hurting the Zealots. Stalkers don't have blink available, so the Widowmine goes off as well. All the Stalkers go down. Now the Zealots should drop a bit more easily, and Bunny even dropping the Mule. Wow. So Bunny even dropping the Mule right there, as we're going to be seeing this group of bio units from Bunny continue to the left side. That pylon's going to go down as well, and I mean, Bunny just keeps on clearing out structures. Crazy. Still units from Bunny here gathering up just in towards the center. Some Stalkers from here pushing up as well. One Stalker goes down. So this bio of Bunny continue to press in, and at this stage you're starting to really see the repercussions of Dia having committed to this attack. Down in workers, army supply trailing, no further upgrades coming through. desperately building the dogs, trying to try and get back in the game. Woodermines are going to unburrow and reburrow here, just so they don't go off on the Zealots, which are right next to the bio. In the end, they go off a little bit further away. Just stops the friendly fire damage, and that's what's so important, as Bunny will close out game 1, taking the lead. Qualify. It doesn't mean you qualify to IEM, it means you qualify to stage 2. So that's what we're setting up for here, looking for stage 2. That will actually happen on Monday. So the next few days we're actually going to be casting OSC Championship day after day after day. So yeah, we're going to be casting that, and that's going to be a lot of fun. As well as you have to the top right side, our red Terran player. This is Bunny, going up against the blue Protoss in the bottom left-hand side. We have Deer. Getting the setup to go. We see an assimilator coming down. We see the gateway on the way up. Deer just getting this started right now. We see the Rex coming in from Bunny up in the main base. You guys read that? Bunny said, "Man and meal was a mistake," and Dia said, "I can't believe it." And Bunny's like, "No, really?" And Dia was like, "Then change the hotkey." I love it. Some good memes going on between the players. Honestly, it's so cool to see a lot of the Korean players are so friendly with each other. They're very good and very in sync with each other. Like they always have a good laugh, even in these serious tournaments. You know, they have take a moment or so to have some fun. I think it's a good attitude. I like it. Expansion from both players early once again. So again, no early proxy from the Terran player. No attempt to play double gas expand from Deer to get that earlier Stargate up. Just pretty regular for game number 2 as we get this started. So getting this underway. Do have the Reaper from Bunny here heading down towards the bottom left-hand side. Sees that Nexus and will be pulling back away through the bottom. Sentry on the way up here from Deer being chrono-boosted out for a moment with that Adept, and then the Twilight Council dropping down shows us his first tech choice of the game. I mean, the Twilight means he's going to be bypassing all of those Oracles, which then just died in the last game. I mean, obviously that didn't help Deer at all. But obviously just the fast blink here can get quite a lot done for you and give you a lot of map control. Especially on a map like Blue Shift with the low ground, no ramp. Gives the Stalkers a lot of ability to kind of sit here and just poke in, pick off a unit, and pull, blink away basically. So definitely a lot that can be done over on that low ground, because compared to Cerulean Fall in the last game, it makes a lot more sense to go Stargate, because there's just no, there's the worst map for Stalkers. The Stalkers, I mean, you could go Stargate on this map too. Just Stalkers definitely make more sense on this map than the last map, is all I'm trying to get said. Going to be seeing the starport dropping down in the main base of Bunny, as we see the factory of the tech lab is going to be getting a Cyclone on the way out. There's a Cyclone coming through, a couple of Marines on the way out as well. And we do see that robotics facility from Deer also on the way up. A couple of extra gates being brought in. Chrono boost on the blink. Hallucinated Oracle comes in, and again, just having a little bit of a look around here. Robotics facility dropping in from Deer as well. So getting that started, we see the Cyclone locks on and pushes that Hallucinated Oracle away. I'm just going to be seeing the Raven on the way up from the starport. So getting that Raven in. Barracks drops down the right side. Engineering Bay is about to finish up in Bunny as well. So all of this getting going is, again, Hallucination coming down to the bottom. And, yeah. PSCVs is continuing to mine as that Raven going to be finishing up in a moment or two. So this is obviously a very different build from Bunny. The faster starport, no second racks early means the stim is obviously delayed, but the Raven gives you so much utility. And with the tank coming up as well, we'll see if this is going to turn into some sort of aggressive push, or if it's going to be a bit of a different plan at all here as we get this going. Tank comes down to the low ground, and again, you're just going to be seeing those the bunker with the Marines in from Bunny. He's going to be checking out as well. That Robot Bay finishing up from Dia in the main base. As again, the Reaper dropping down a grenade. Nexus taking a little bit of damage there, and the Reaper will end up back up on the watchtower. So getting that set up, as you do see the Colossus and the +1 attack upgrade coming through from Dia as well. So continue to get this going, as we do see the Cyclone and a few Marines still sat around in the main base. Federax of Bunny about to finish up, so again, he's transitioned it through in towards a pretty regular setup here. But Raven's so useful, man, even picking off an Observer here without a scan. Observers are so annoying to lose when you play Colossus, because obviously you're so dependent on the Colossus count getting high. If you're losing your Observers, you have to make a decision, do I make another Colossus or do I replace my Observer? You know, if you build the Observer, then your Colossus can definitely, you know, your Colossus production gets slowed down, and that's definitely a little bit costly for you. Well, Bunny with a pusher through the top side, another Observer gets killed, so that's now 2 out of the 3 Observers made this game that that have been picked off now. Bunny still coming through the top side, and again trying to see what might happen. A couple of tanks getting sieged, and just going to be seeing Dia. Well, oh my god, 3 Observers go down. Bunny's killed every Observer of this Raven. Like, at some point, Dia has to start realizing that Ravens can detect units without a scan, you know? Ay, ay, ay. Anyways, Bunny pulls back. I mean, he's already killed 225 Gasso Observers. Raven has paid for itself already. Still have those tanks gathering in. I mean, Stim's about to finish up, but obviously with Colossus, it's very difficult to engage. The one way that this engagement goes well for Bunny is if we see the siege tanks target firing down the Colossus nice and quickly. That is the one way this really works out for him, because he is very Marine heavy as well. So in general, Colossus are very good against this composition. You can see Dia, as soon as those tanks are siege, doesn't really have any interest in being part of this fight. Bunny does though, and he keeps pressing forwards. Tell you what, Bunny also has Interference Matrix available, so you can drop down the Matrix on the Colossus. Here you go, he sims in, the Colossus get Matrixed, and now they don't actually add anything to this. So at the very least, Bunny will take a better position forwards. Another Colossus shows up though. I mean, there's still 3 Colossus here at the end of the day. But Bunny is in position to hit the 3rd base now, kind of forcing the fight a little bit better. That tank in the forward position gets taken down, and so will the Bio, as he actually has to pull back for the most part here. Now Tank's going to try and hold on, firing against the Colo, but unfortunately, not much more to be done by Bunny. He'll unsiege him back away. The Raven usage was pristine. I mean, exactly what you kind of wanted to have happen there. So very good job of this overall, I would say, as Bunny, again, ends up backing away through this top side with this little bit of Bio. There's a couple of tanks in the medevac. The rest of this Bio, Bunny going to be pushing out through the top side as well with these 2 Vikings on the way up. Oh, the SCVs are coming. Boys are back in town. SCV pull. I mean, it's been a fairly decently successful kind of attack so far. Tons of the boys are coming. This is like 30 or more of them. This leaves a few units here on the natural. Nothing left in the main bar. There's 1 SCV. He comes back up. He's like, where'd all my friends go? Did my friends head out to the club without me? Poor SCV. And as you see, those tanks sieging up again. They're going to be important to having good positions. There's a couple of Vikings mixed in as well. SCV is setting up on the top side, and well, those tanks getting closer. They're now in range of that 3rd Nexus, so at least we'll start pressuring and forcing Dia into maybe a bit of a decision as to what he's going to do. He has 4 Colossus though, and that's going to be so much AoE damage. The Disruptor coming out now as well. And Bunny not pushing into this right away. Here we go. Now he will. Tanks will start to target fire down the Colossus. The Disruptor shot hits a good few units in the back center. Colossus are taking a lot of damage though. Extra Zealot Warping is going to be very important. 1 Colossus remains. Another tank sieging up. More Bio reinforcing across the map, and they think Bunny has broken through here. With the kill on that Colossus, that's GG. Bunny will take a 2-0 lead. Let's kick off into this. As we have to the bottom right side, our red Terran player. This is Bunny. Up against the blue Protoss on the top left-hand side, we have got ourselves here. Yeah, a couple of discussion about SCVs against AoE. SCV pull is actually the way was actually first designed as a double gate open from DS, so I'll go through this very fast. But SCV pulls were first designed against Colossus-based builds. The idea is the SCVs buy you time as you know, as basically the Colossus fire on the SCVs and not the bio. And so while the SCVs go down, your bio survives. So by the time the SCVs are gone, the front line of the Protoss has disappeared, and suddenly the protection for the Colossus is gone. So while the SCVs do die very fast, it's still enough time for the bio to break through to the Colossus lines. And once the bio is on the Colossus lines, the Colossus die very quickly. And that's kind of the original idea of the SCV pull and how it works. Generally, you don't want to hit before Storm, because if you hit when Storm's done, Storm comes down, the SCVs die. You don't even have to engage with the Colossus, so you don't lose your front line. So that's why, against Storm it doesn't work, against Colossus it very much so does work, and that's why it's kind of coming back into the meta, because we're actually moving away from gateway-based builds, from, you know, that sort of stuff, and back into Colossus builds. That's why we're starting to see the SCV pulls once again. So it's pretty cool as we get this game number 3 set up and roll, and we do see double gate, of course, so it's going to be aggression now. This is going to be Dia applying a lot of pressure to Bunny early, but Bunny, the SCV scout's so nice for him because he sees no expansion, so immediately he gets his factory up nice and fast. He gets his command center up on the high ground as well, and gets that set up to go. Reaper and a Marine in the Reaper and an SCV in the bunker. 2 Marines now on the way out though. And well, for Bunny, this is a good defense. Getting his expansion set up as well. And the engineering bay blocks the low ground of Dia. So he actually is delaying that expansion because Dia is already past 400 minerals. So this is going to cost Dia a little bit of time here for getting his own Nexus up. So nice delay by Bunny. And as a Stargate comes through, obviously again, Dia will not really have achieved all too much with this 2-gate. Yes, he's pressured Bunny up to the high ground, etc. But for having to sacrifice the timing on his own Nexus until so late, that's obviously very costly for him. There's EV and there's Stalk and the Zealot heading back home. The Reaper gets to find this pylon here and we'll just start a fight against it. Try and shut down this gateway before Warp Gate comes up. But Stalk and the Zealot coming back over. And I think the Reaper's a bit too smart to stick around over here when he knows he's definitely not really wanted. Tell you what though, Starport coming up, and I wonder if he just goes Cloak Banshees this game. With this opening, it's, you know, Dia's now getting into Stargate, etc. I wonder, because the factory is a bit faster from Bunny basically, and Dia's tech is a bit behind, I wonder if Cloak Banshees work quite nicely because the Robo is a bit later, the Observer's a bit later. I guess we shall see. For now, it's actually just a siege tank on the way out of the factory, which I don't mind either because it will help you to, as you position it over here or so, you cover the low ground and you can actually take your expansion down to the low ground very safely, getting a bunker set up there and so on, so you don't take too much damage or anything crazy, which actually is very important, of course. Now, Orbital lifts up and is going to be flying down to the natural expansion over the next couple of moments. That Oracle taking some hits there as the Cyclone locks on. The Orbital does drop down, and again, just going to be seeing this tank going to come forwards and going to get... I was thinking about maybe sieging up right there. 4 more gates on the way out here from Dia. And we see that Resonating Glaives is also coming up right now from our Protoss players, so going into the Glaives and the extra gates, I mean, it's super aggressive out of Dia right now. Starport does end up just building a tech lab for the Raven. And the factory actually building a Widow Mine. Well, if Dia knew about this, or if Bunny knew about this, sorry, then a wall-off would be amazing. He actually is going to wall off the area into his siege tank, so that's already quite nice. There's a little bit of a, not full wall-off because he can come around this way, but that will already help a bit against this very aggressive, adept-heavy style. Widow Mine is going to be quite good in this situation too, and of course an extra siege tank will always be very useful as well. Do you see the Oracle getting pushed away by that Cyclone lock on for a moment or two? And Marine just sitting at the front, and do you see the probe is just coming around here. We just see the Oracle coming over as well. Adepts continue to press forwards, and we do see one Marine picked off pretty much right away. Goes off and actually soaks up the Widow Mine shot. There was a gap in that wall, so the Adepts get in. Raven will throw down the Auto Turret. The other tank here trying to deal some damage. Cyclone lock on 2. The first Adepts, I don't think have actually really done enough. They will cancel their shade to kill the Siege Tank. I mean, obviously the Siege Tank is a big defensive unit, so getting rid of that is huge. But another tank coming up. Now this is properly walled off. I'm not sure if another shading really does the job here from Dia. As Bunny is going to laugh. I think he just scanned the natural and saw there's no gases. And Dia is obviously not too happy about this. As we're going to be seeing these Adepts going to come shading forwards once again. These guys are obviously pretty good friends. Another Deeper coming in. The Adepts will shade over the top side, but of course, I mean, Cyclone lock on. Raven could do an auto turret again if he has the energy. He does have it now. He's just waiting for the energy to finish up. Bunker goes down, but again, the tank is dealing so much damage to these Adepts. There's Marines left over too. And in fact, it's plenty to clean this up. And Dia's attempts of being aggressive just keep on being shut down. Game after game at the moment, Bunny is just shutting them down, Dia, and just continuing to just stop him from really achieving anything. Tank siege is up on the high ground. Marines still hanging out on the low ground as well. We have got the few Adepts on the top side still set up there. 7 more Adepts going to warp in. And this army of Dia going to press down in towards the natural expansion as a few Marines going to jump into that bunker. Tank actually loads up. We'll want to siege up again here, though. Here come the Adepts. Tank not siege right away, so we'll miss out on a shot too. But the tank on the high ground. I mean, okay, you're killing a few SCVs, but you're going to have absolutely no army left over. These Adepts getting destroyed, and GG is called by Dia. And that's going to be Bunny taking down the third and final game of this series. Bunny qualifies himself